Because in this PT, I'm going to do the same thing that I showed in the last stream, right? It's gonna be the same thing. But there's a twist. My opponent is gonna go Mech. Right, yeah, he builds a proxy back. This is... Away! Wait, proxy Rex. I don't know, like proxy barracks doesn't work because I open with a pool first anyways. Pool first and then I go into the free roach opener, right? It's the same build, but I started off a little bit differently. Like the last game I got the link speed on shorter maps. Catalyst is also a shorter map, but especially like Dreamcatch where you have a rush distance of about 5 seconds at least. And on these maps, the free roach opener is really good. You watch games of yours to help out when you're bored. Sometimes, not usually. But the goal of this build is to get the free roaches out as quickly as possible, right? He found the links. Clearly a hack. Clearly a hack. Add links here. Why would he go there? I mean, it's pretty smart of him to find the links. But then the barracks tries to float over and scout. That was a little bit like, holy shit, he has a barracks here. Like, what is even going on in this game? But because I open with pool first, I get the queens out so fast that he can't really get much damage done. And after my early roaches, I just go for the lair. As soon as I have my 100 gas and I'm no longer occupied, I'm sending the roaches across the map. He saw the roach one. I don't actually know what he's doing. I don't really remember the early game of this one because it's a very weird game. But the double reaper was also kind of He gets that kill and then I snipe one reaper and the other one goes home, and my roaches were a bit slow. Like I tried to sneak them past his reapers and then he notices. Boom, reaper down. Right? What does the Terran have at home for defense? Usually a reaper and a Hellion or something. 1 kill, 2 kill. So I already took down 2 mules and an SCV. That's like 500 minerals right there. Use this build in CVC? No. Build doesn't work in CVC, links are too good. Get the double evolution chamber. Get that lair. Double 2 more gases. The reason why I get the double evolution chamber is I don't need it on normal maps, but on this one I'm really scared of a Hellion run by. And I pulled the roaches home right now because I figured that cyclones are coming and cyclones are very, very evil. Do you guys see that? How fucking good are Terran units? I mean, I just need some Ravagers and I'm fine, but I don't want to be overrun by Hellions, so I'd rather just build a wall off and then I can kind of block this area with road. Once again, I'm getting the Spire, I'm droning up. It looks the same as it did last game, right? But instead of getting the link speed, I put a bit of pressure on my opponent with roaches. Having no link speed can be a bit annoying, but in overall it shouldn't really matter that much. You can still make a fine transition happen. Sadly, I'm not really able to push him back here. This delays my third base a bit, but I just built a couple more roaches. Kind of okay. Around the 5-minute mark, I have my bases saturated, Spire on the way, roach speed on the way, getting that Overseer, trying to take a third base. Well, I'm trying, right? Not that easy. And my opponent is going for Mech, right? This is what I called for at the start of the game. Last game we saw the bio tank play. This time around it's gonna be that Mech play, and this right here is a mistake by me because the cyclones have a lot of DPS, so you can just cancel the base. Then I retake it and I'm fine. And he's going double armory. I'm gonna get some Mutalisks out. It doesn't really matter how many you get. I generally suggest between 5 and 6. With 5 Mutalisks you can one-shot SCVs. With 6 Mutalisks you can one-shot SCVs even if they have +1 armor. I believe so. By the way, 5 to 6 mutas don't cost too much, but they really force a lot of defense out of your opponent. If I walked straight across the map right here with my roaches, I could have probably gotten quite a bit of damage done. Sadly, I kept my roaches at home because I was like, yo, my opponent has to be doing something, right? I mean, this is a GM Terran. And I'm just droning up. I'm getting the infestation pit. I noticed that it's Mech, right? It's not. I can't really be in this stage of the game and be like, yo, I wonder what I'm playing against, right? I mean, it's about as obviously Mech as possible. And well, this might look like I'm doing a lot of damage. I'm really not. Yeah, sure, it's a good position. Taking out the gases is nice, and trying to get some kills is nice, but overall we're still very even in supply, and he has a lot of mules saved up. He didn't really lose a lot of work as he just pulled them back into his own base. Yeah, he gave up the first barracks and then had to... Oh, I think he did... Oh yeah, it died to the spore, I think. And then here we go, right? So, let's rewind a little bit. What did I do? So this is while I'm attacking him over here. I saturated all my 3 bases, pulled the Mutalisks home. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. But I guess they're gonna patrol a little bit around home. And when I have my 3 bases saturated, I get that Nydus network. I'm gonna take a 4th base as soon as I'll stop paying attention to the attack, I think. And what the Nydus network will allow me is to get some cheeky Swarmhost action going. Now losing the Muta sucks a bit because I can always use the Mutas to plop down Nydus Swarms here, here, and 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 here. But I just built some Corruptors because I figured, well, Mutas are gonna be crap anyway, so let's just build some Corruptors into that same thing. So I move all my Swarmhosts into the Nydus Swarm. And this is where the game starts getting funky, right? So I pop the Nydus Swarm into his main base. I push him at the front. Now this is where we start to abuse Mech, right? I push him at the front. I P on the orbital command, and at this point he's starting to fall apart. It's kind of difficult for most Terrans to deal with attacks on multiple fronts. I have Swarmhosts in his main base that are gonna plop down Locusts and then immediately go back into the Nydus Swarm. Now I'm harassing him here. At the same time, he is losing SCVs at his 3rd base. I just keep reinforcing with roaches at the moment because they will keep me safe on my side of the map, as well as allow me to go for a really, really big death push, and I can always make Ravagers. Now this is the 10-minute mark. At the 10-minute mark, I'm basically maxed out after opening 1 base Roach, to 2 base Muta, into 3 base Swarmhost Roach Ravager, Corruptor, with a 4th base done, and I could start the Hive at any point. And my opponent is... I'm constantly trading with my opponent, right? This is not a defensive play, like I'm constantly fighting, building units. But the build is so strong macro-wise that if you don't know how to really deal with it, there's almost no way for you to beat it. Yeah, sure, I lose a couple units here and there. Right here, another Nydus going down straight in his main base. More Locusts flying around everywhere. And this eventually causes him to leave the game. Very, very, very strong. Doesn't really matter how you open that much. It's just important that you get that 3 base Roach Swarmhost going. Some way of getting sight in your opponent's base, and that's kind of how I usually play against